KSA. It's the best Asian org on campus. I mean, just look at its exec board. 3 sophomores, 4 juniors, and best of all, the incredible president and senior, Grace Han. They can't be beat. But this school year, SDSU was forced to transition from in-person to online classes during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, KSA wanted to find out if it was possible to survive an entire year with only online activities. Here's how it went. Back in May of 2020, KSA's exec board was in search of a president, and Grace was the obvious contender. She was already working with the org for a couple years now, had expertise in communication and leadership, and of course, was Korean. So, that worked out. Now, a lot of us were on the same boat wondering how to run KSA online. We had to use Zoom for our GBMs, of course, since that's how classes were being run. As for Ignite, our dance team, we opted to use Instagram Live and continue workshops through there. On September 4th, 2020, we hosted our first GBM. We debuted the officers of the new exec board and reintroduced Ignite and its captains. Things were going pretty smoothly. We hosted GBMs every week, each one with a new theme. In September, we played some variety show minigames, learned international languages, and admired the different art forms of Korea. At the same time, Ignite kicked off its workshops, went left and right, and lit up like dynamite. You could tell that they weren't shy about the switch to online. We made our way through October still going strong. After a celebration of Chuseok and some survival show shenanigans, we invited some friends over for a couple games of Among Us. Nothing too sus, of course. With the back door down, Ignite was starting to feel more alive. They got a little lovesick though, but it was nothing after riding on their helicopter? Okay, that was pretty bad. Anyway, KSA winded down the month with a jaw-dropping Jigsaw GBM, and another informing about the 2020 election, encouraging everyone to exercise their right to vote. On the eve of October 31st, they hosted their signature Halloween GBM. It was quite the spooktacular. Next came November. KSA was invited to APS's annual night market, and to VSA's first ever Spelling Bee. Things were starting to get pretty stacked heading into final season, but we made one thing clear. You can't stop us. We made a wish, pushing through to deliver back-to-back K-pop GBMs, and even prepped a full-course lunchbox to show off for APS and Night Market. To celebrate, we helped ourselves to a Thanksgiving GBM. We felt pretty stuffed though afterwards, and at that point, well actually, I think Mamamoo puts it best. With December around the corner, we wanted to end 2020 with a bang. So, we did. Introducing Friendsmas. Instead of a GBM to wrap up the semester, we decided to host a virtual hangout on our Discord server. To make things interesting, we also ran some dares for charity. Things got pretty spicy. And it was enough to knock your pants off. Or on, rather, in Christian's case. We felt like kids in a candy store, and we weren't about to let 2020, the Black Mamba that it was, from crushing our spirits. We bid farewell to the fall semester and recharge for the new year ahead. Now, at this point, you're probably wondering why I've been saying KSA when KASA is in the title. Well, here's the thing. In January 2021, Grace had a revolutionary idea. Instead of calling ourselves the Korean Student Association, we should call ourselves the Korean American Student Association. Despite some of the exec board not being Korean themselves, what united all of us together was a shared interest in Korean culture. We wanted to build a community between students of all gender identities, ethnicities, nationalities, religions, and ages. And thus, the name KASA was born. Heading into February, we celebrated the Lunar New Year, as well as the critically acclaimed Minari, a truly life-changing opportunity. And for the second GBM of the new year, we decided to discover our roots once more. It was a good time. As we marched into March, we planned to host a couple art-themed activities. First, we had our painting GBM, and talked about Korean art. But the second thing we did was a bit bigger. On March 27th, we hosted our big joint social, The Art of Jackbox, and brought together a couple Asian orgs from SDSU for a friendly competition. And after 3 fierce rounds of drawing and art-related minigames, APSA came out on top. But that's okay, because we won't go so easy on them next time. Can you imagine if we had won our own social? I mean, we're already the best. We don't have to prove it to anyone. Oh yeah, Ignite was starting up again too. They rode back in on their bicycle, and were greeted by... El Mago?
Editor's note. What the fuck?
That was weird. Anyway, before we knew it, we had made our way to April. As the school year was drawing near to a close, KASA was once again in search of new officers. We spilled the tea on what it took to be on our executive board. Ignite did the same too, joined by a new captain, Ashley. And don't call it just yet, because if you want to be a part of our exec board like Ashley, all you have to do is meet us after school. Which brings us to now, right now, during this GBM. It's crazy looking back and realizing how far we've gotten. There were a few bumps along the way, and I don't know about you, but I can only remember the good stuff. Through it all, our fearless president, Grace Hahn, paved the way for KASA to not only survive the school year, but totally crush it. We're all pretty thankful. In fact, I think they put it best.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
I just want to start this off by saying thank you, Grace, for everything you've done for this club, especially taking on the role of president.
Thank you so much for being such an amazing president for Korean Club. Korean Club honestly would have not survived without you leading us this past 2 semesters.
I would like to thank you for gracing us every single week with news about what's going on in the world. I think your updates have been extremely important.
Thank you also for being a great mentor for me since back when we started as KASA and now we're KASA.
You've been an amazing president. Everything that you have said, everything that you've done with us, the way that you've kept us motivated throughout this pandemic, because it's very hard to be. We appreciate it so much. You've done an amazing job, and we're gonna miss you so much when you graduate.
Saved us from almost nothing, and you should give yourself credit for that. I hope you do. I'm very grateful for you, not only for the things that you've done for our club, but also as a friend. I've known you ever since my first day of college, which was freshman year, like 3 years ago, which is crazy. I've known you for 3 years, but I feel like we're really close, and I hope that we can still keep in touch even after you graduate. Congratulations for graduating, by the way. A lot of good memories that we've had, and I hope you cherish them and hope you remember me when you graduate. And I think that's pretty much all I want to say. Just thank you. I love you. Stay in touch, okay? Keep talking to me. I don't want to be abandoned after you graduate, okay? Okay, bye-bye.
That's better. Hi, Grace. So I know I'm going after everyone else. They've already said their thanks and all those nice things about you. Hopefully you're not crying at this point. I feel like we were really lucky this year that you agreed to be president of KASA. Because through all the chaos and craziness this year, you really gave us some good direction. I don't think anyone knew how to really navigate this online world, but every step of the way you were optimistic through every obstacle. You were fearless, and that's all you can really ask for in a great leader. You know, I don't know about the guy who's doing the voiceover of this video. He sounds really cool, by the way. But when he said that KASA was the best org on campus, I don't think he was lying. Or exaggerating. And when you became president, you made the best even better, I'd say. I feel like I learned a lot from you, making graphics, communication, all that stuff. And I'll really take it to heart next year. I think everyone will agree that you left a pretty great legacy for us, and my only hope is that we'll be able to pay for it in the future with what you've taught us. So, thank you.